Welcome back, guys. This is a follow-up video. If you watched the last video, you'd seen the racing footage that I had on the car, and that was the first time out. And unfortunately, it was kind of a hectic weekend. I didn't have a lot into the filming portion of it. If you're interested in the Holley sniper setup with the MSD on a 5.3 LS engine, I'm going to talk about my results, and then also my build is in a 91 Z28 Camaro. So the car ran a personal best out of 9 passes, 13 flat at 106. I figure the car probably still weighs somewhere in the neighborhood of 3,300 pounds with me in it, because there has been a lot of weight taken out of the car, but also we put the cage in, the subframe connectors, and then I'm not the smallest thing. So I figured 3,300 pounds at that track speed. We should be somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 horsepower is getting to the rear wheels, which equates to somewhere in the ballpark of 340, 350 crank horsepower. So if you're looking at doing this setup, I would highly recommend it, because given what's already there, you can only go up. Nitrous is a possibility. You know, for my build anyways, I got more weight I can take out of the car. Rear gearing, which is going to be a thing I'm going to talk about here in a second. But if this is something you're interested in doing, I highly recommend it. That sniper setup, I think, more than supplemented the stock fueling that would have come on a truck engine, whether it be a junkyard or you pulled it out of a truck. It supplemented, and I believe, and then some. And also, I'm going to show you, when you go with that Holley system, you get the Holley software, and the same with the MSD, and you can get on there, you can look at your timing, run data logs. I do have a few data logs I'm going to show you. And yeah, and then we're going to go directly above me here in just a minute and do a walk around on the car, show you what I got, and show you that it didn't, like, I have to do nothing. It's ready for the next race, which that's a victory all on its own. So 2 years of putting the car together, tinkering with stuff, take it out, and it was flawless. So let me show you what we're doing with tuning and capabilities there, and then we'll go up and look at the car. Alright, so I've got one of my maps open here, and if you look, we can click on these, and it should show you, there it is, engine speed, ignition timing, map, which that's down here at the bottom, you can see. So what's really neat about all this, and what I can do too, is go back in here, I'll open up this one, and now I can compare these. Oh, is this not the same one? No, it's not. So we can do engine speed, ignition timing, look at that, and then what we can do, we can overlay all these. So this is 2 different data logs that I took per the MSD, and it's super simple. Take your laptop, plug it into the MSD, there's a USB port on it, and you can download all this information right off of it and pull it up on MSD Review, which is, when you buy the MSD, it comes with a flash drive, so you can just download this right on there. So as you can see, it shows, I'll use my cursor to kind of outline it, so I can drag this bar across right here, and if you look on the left there, it's showing all of the different exact numbers. So you can see my consistencies were a little bit different, but that's just per the recording time. But anyways, it's kind of neat because you can see what the timing did, how that all changed. And so what I need to do next time is actually like go on the LS1 high output setting, data log it, and then go back to my custom timing table that I made. Because I went through and adjusted one to try and help the car get off the line, and it helped a little bit, but I kept it pretty mild because I'm not a master tuner. I actually don't know a lot, so I kept the timing relatively mild, and I think I lost at the upper end. I gained at the lower end, but I lost at the upper end, so that needs some more fine tuning. But I was actually racing at that point, so it was kind of difficult just to go in there and do that. So anyways, this is what this looks like, and let me show you the sniper software. So here's the sniper setup. As you can see, I just went up here, opened up one of my data log files, and this is the graph. This is somewhat similar to the MSD. You can go over here to the left and get all of the parameters that you want to view. You can see like the red line there, that's the RPM, which looks awful similar, as it should, to the MSD. Going all the way through, so I can see Obviously right here is where I stalled the car up a little bit. Held on the trans brake, went up to 96% throttle, which I think is somewhat normal for these to not read 100%. And then you can see, again, the shift points, the air-fuel ratio, and what it did all the way through. And then these ones down here, what is the other red one? Fuel flow, and then the blue line is the duty cycle, which it's very good that all these are down here. So just, I know I was just showing you this, but this is a pretty good example right here. So this is like where my peak fuel flow was. You just click on that, it'll show you kind of where you're at. And right there, that's not even peak. I'm gonna bump that over just a little bit. So we're at 200 pounds an hour for fuel flow at 48% duty cycle, which means, unless I'm mistaken, my setup is only pushing this sniper to half of its current capabilities, which is a good thing. So I'm guessing that my biggest downfall is I'm still running 862 heads. That probably has something to do with why I'm got plenty of fueling, just not getting the airflow. But that's an easy problem to solve, and we're still at a point where, you know, I'm fine with it. So alright, so we're back in the garage, which is still a disaster. But here is the car. Just another look at my setup I've got going. It's an 0453 LM7 engine, I believe, with the Holley sniper, the Holley high-rise, it's a mid-rise single plane intake, and the MSD LS6, I believe it is. Pretty simple setup. This was after 9 passes. I literally have nothing to do. The oil even still looks clean in the car. It might not be a bad idea just for an engine flush purpose to clean that out. But everything performed flawlessly. The switch panel, everything that I talked about in the last video that I put in, all worked super good. Steering column is way nice. I know it's kind of dark in here, you can't see it really well, but this is the Motion Raceworks steering column that was specifically designed for this car. Turbo 400 transmission, which was kind of interesting. Like, one of the things with the race, if you watch the last video, and there was 1 or 2 times, if you listen really close after I get done racing, you can actually hear it. It is not good. You can actually hear the rear end howling in this car. It is still the stock 10 bolt with some supporting mods that were done to the car before I got it. And it's definitely on its way out. So I think the next big purchase for this car is going to be a 9-inch rear end, beefed up. And I'm probably going to bump up to a 410 rear gear, because it does have 373 gears now. And the 60-foot times just weren't there. That's where I struggled the most. Actually, I think I've even got one of my time slips. One of my time slips right here. Here I am on the left, 1.9, pretty much a 2-second 60-foot, which is pretty normal, but for a car this light, power to weight ratio should be a little bit better. 8.4 in the 8th, 13.201. This is one where I dialed 1320 and ran a 13.201, and I actually lost on the reaction time because first time out I wasn't into the reaction time. I wasn't super concerned with it, but anyways, again, if you're in the market for doing this sort of setup, it's so simple compared to messing with the stock wiring that would come with a donor engine and the computers and having tuning done. This, I believe, is the way to go if this is what you're going to do. This thing runs so good. I think with some tuning to the chassis of the car, the engine, the MSD, the sniper, you know, it just needs fine-tune at this point. And I'm going to be out again next weekend running the quarter mile. It is bracket racing, but I will get 2 test runs. I'm going to do some stuff with the tuning, and I will show that. And then we're going to see how many rounds we can go bracket racing. It is my goal to get this car into the 12s. The next step after that, before I add any more power, because I'm already talked about different heads for the car so it can breathe a little better, so you can saw that duty cycle. We're really not pushing the sniper to its limits at all. So some supporting mods to the engine. If I can find some 243 heads or some better heads, maybe even some aftermarket ones to really get this thing breathing, I think it could easily be a low 12-second car. We also talked about nitrous at one point. Bottom end is set for it. It's got new rings in it that are gapped appropriately for nitrous or boost. So there's so many things that can be done to this car. As of right now, this is a stepping stone. This is phase 1. I'm super happy with it. If you have any questions at all, leave a comment down below. Be glad to help you out with your build, let you know the things I did with my car, with the engine, whether it be for the engine or for the Camaro portion of it. Love to help you guys out. Also, please like and subscribe, follow along, because it's going to be nothing but racing from here on out. Basically, I'm going to leave the car alone. It's all going to be computer tuning at this point to see what we can get out of it in its current setup. And then down the road, obviously, heavier rear end, engine work, nitrous boost, who knows. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Dadgummit, stay good. We'll see you later.